من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله وأصلي وأسلم عليه وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تبعه بإحسان إلى يوم الدين رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي ثم أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. How are you? So first of all, I just would like to appreciate, thank and recognize the young Qari, mashallah, with his confident reading. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you and bless you too. That's the age where we need to do effort to instill the love of Quran. And when it comes to memorization, there is something called print and there is something called imprint. So al-ilmu fi al-sighar kal-naqshi fi al-hajar. So at this age, when the Quran is being transferred to the memory, it really gets imprinted for a longer period of time, so may Allah reward him. And I also would like to thank my beloved Haris for moderating. MashaAllah, I like you and may Allah reward you. My topic today is about Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam. We all read Quran every day almost. Quran offers a lot of stories about the father of all prophets. How many minutes do I have? 30 minutes. Just give me raise your hand to like 5 minutes. Right. So it's a long topic. So I'll share with you a few things. I happen to put some efforts to collect specific information that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions about Sayyidina Ibrahim. And the reason why I consider this very important to learn about him is because he is considered the father of all prophets, the father of the concept of Tawheed. So the more we know about him, how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loved him, how he mentioned about him, what are his titles mentioned in the Quran, characteristics. So I divided this into different sections. I don't know if I'm able to cover the whole thing. The first section talks about his family, lineage. Then a little bit about his unique way to search and find the truth. The third section talks about his belief and his total surrender to the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the words that we often hear about ad-din al-hanif. We're going to talk about that because we are the followers of the religion of Ibrahim, which is often described in the Quran as millah. Then we have a little description and how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in a beautiful way, Ibrahim alayhi salam is the one who in that society filled with disbelief introduced the concept of lordship. He actually told them who is Lord and what qualifications a Lord should have. That differentiates between the one who can be a true Lord, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, versus all these false deities. Then we have a little bit his qualities, characteristics, character traits of Sayyidina Ibrahim. that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned about him. Then we switch over into area of communication. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave outstanding communication skills to prophets of Allah. And Ibrahim alayhi salam's time was full of disbelief, idol worship. His own father used to make, sell, and worship idols. So he had a unique way of reaching out to these people who were deep-rooted in the field of disbelief and proved the concept of the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So some samples of how he communicated. In the second part, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave Ibrahim alayhi salam the ability of establishing a dialogue. A dialogue is done from two sides. So I want to share with you one. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave Ibrahim alayhi salam, in addition to his communication skills, the beautiful ability to do da'wah. And in order to prove the point, he used the quality of challenge. So he challenged, like the one mentioned in Surah Al-Imran, when he faced the king, who claimed that I am the Lord. And then few more samples about his general communication, in which he mentioned reason, logic, and finally, which is my favorite part, we see Ibrahim alayhi salam as a father and a muallim and as a murabbi. How he raised a child, and how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in Surah Al-Safat his style of reaching out older child and what method he gave. And finally, we finish with how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saluted him. So, briefly talking about his name is Ibrahim. His father's name, according to one narration, is Tarikh. But the most famous opinion is, and that Quran describes, his name is Azar. وَإِذْ قَالَ إِبْرَاهِيمُ لِأَبِيهِ آزَرَ. So Ibrahim's father was Azar. His lineage goes to Sam, son of Noah. And that's the opinion of Ibn Abbas and the scholars. One opinion is that Azar was not the real name. Azar was an idol that Ibrahim's father used to worship. So he was known by that name. Ibn Asakir, the scholar, he mentioned Ibrahim's mother's name was Amila. There is another scholar who says, Al-Kalbi, who says that her name was Buna, daughter of Karbata. He was born somewhere in Damascus at a village called Barza. That's the opinion of Abdullah ibn Abbas. And Abdullah ibn Abbas also says that the correct one, and the most famous one, that Ibrahim a.s. was born in a city called Babil, somewhere in modern-day Iraq. So that's a little bit about his family lineage. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guided Ibrahim because he wanted to make him the father of Tawheed, or the one who establishes the true belief that we believe in, that came from him. In Surah Al-Ma'idah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes his effort to choose the truth, because he wanted to find out who is the true Lord who has the power, abilities that our Lord should have. So he started searching. And the most common invitation in the Quran that we find is at-tafakkur. Did you ponder? Ponder signs of Allah around you. So he started pondering. So in order to search the truth for a true Lord that remains forever, he thought of an idea of looking to the stars. فَلَمَّا جَنَّ عَلَيْهِ اللَّيْلُ رَأَى كَوْكَبًا. When the night fell, he saw a star. قَالَ هَذَا رَبِّي. So initially he thought that this might be Lord. فَلَمَّا أَفَلَ. When he set, Ibrahim, through his wisdom, he realized that the one who has the beginning and the end cannot be Lord. So he canceled it. He said, no, his star cannot be Lord because his star was set. فَلَمَّا رَأَى الْقَمَرَ بَازِغًا. When he saw the moon rising, he said, this is like a little bigger, more shiny. He may be Lord. So same thing happened, because he said. And then he saw the sun. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes, فَلَمَّا رَأَى الشَّمْسَ بَازِغَةً قَالَ هَذَا رَبِّي هَذَا أَكْبَرُ. So when he saw the sun, he thought that this is Lord. And subhanAllah, I personally feel that Ibrahim a.s. did so much effort to find true Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and true concept of Tawheed in his time, and he made it so easy for us now. That's why it's more deserving upon us to get to know who Ibrahim a.s. was. And he said that when he realized that the star, moon, and sun cannot be a true Lord, he said, قَالَ يَا قَوْمِ إِنِّي بَرِيءٌ مِّمَّا تُشْرِكُونَ. Then a declaration came. He said, I am free from worshipping something that you associate partners with Allah. And subhanAllah, in his efforts to discover the true Tawheed, he understood that the opposite of a Tawheed is a shirk. So, Ibrahim's religion is described as millah, also in the Quran. Millah means deen. Millah means same meaning as religion. Ibrahim a.s. was known to have established the concept of submission. Me and you have to submit to Allah. And when you submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so we put Allah's choice first and we surrender our will to the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is exactly what Ibrahim a.s. produced, and Allah loved this. And he describes the true feeling that Ibrahim a.s. expressed. And this is the ayah that we always read. After he is convinced that who is Allah, the true Lord, a declaration came. He said, إِنِّي وَجَّهْتُ وَجْهِيَ لِلَّذِي فَطَرَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضَ حَنِيفًا. I turn my face to the one who originated the heavens and the earth, Hanifan, who is most inclined to truth. And subhanAllah, the concept of Tawheed is supported and backed by truth. Absolute truth. It's assured truth. وَمَا أَنَا مِنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ. When we talk about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is created, just for the sake of interest, one word is used as khalaqa. And one word is fatara. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is khaliq. Khaliq means the creator. He is Azza wa Jalla. And Fatir means the one who originates from scratch, who does not need a pre-existing model or shape to create something like that. That's why he generated. and originated the heavens and the earth and mountains and all this universe. It was not there. So by the power of kun, he brought everything. He originated from scratch. Fatir samawati, Surah Fatir in the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in order to establish the true concept of Tawheed and the nature of Ibrahim as the believer in the Islamic monotheism, he himself declared for us to learn the true status of Allah, Ibrahim in the eyes of Allah, in these words. ما كان إبراهيم يهوديا, he was not Jew, ولا نصرانيا, he was neither Christian, ولكن كان, the same way the word Hanif is used. He said he was Hanif because he was most inclined to pure truth of Tawheed. وَمَا كَانَ مِنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ, the one who is a believer in Tawheed has nothing to do whatsoever with shirk, because they are opposite.